What is up, guys? Troy here, and today I wanted to show off some G3A3 gameplay footage. The actual gameplay you're watching is nothing too special, not too bad, not too great. Just some send crossing on both the attacking side and defending side of Rush. Now, I had a few problems when recording these gameplays where my game kept going into a windowed mode when I was playing, and I believe it was another program I was running in the background. But it cut off my recording every time it would go into a windowed mode. But overall, it was a great couple of rounds. We ended up winning both on the attacking side and the defending side, and I really actually enjoyed using the G3A3. It's been a few weeks since I've used it. Now, I know everyone really loves this gun, and I've actually just started using it about 2, maybe 3 months ago. Now, you guys are probably wondering why I was such a late adopter to using the G3A3, and really it's because of a couple of reasons. But the main reason is because of previous games that featured the G3A3. When I played Rainbow Six 3 Raven Shield on the PC, I didn't use the G3A3 all that often, but instead I really liked using the G3KA4, which is basically a carbine version of the G3A3. It had an MP5 style collapsible stock, really worked well with a suppressor, and you could switch the firing rate from fully automatic to semi-automatic, and it was just a great weapon. Now, I really didn't use it all that often in Bad Company 2 as well. But before I played Bad Company 2, I was playing Medal of Honor 2010. And in that game, the G3A3 is pretty much just a really bad weapon. I mean, it's really bad. It was restricted to the sniper class of Medal of Honor. It was semi-automatic only. I'm not too sure on its damage model, but it sure seemed like it did a lot less damage than the Battlefield 3 version. I remember trying to down a guy, and it would take at least 5 or 6 shots with the G3A3 in Medal of Honor 2010. So I just really didn't care for it in that game, and I was very reluctant to try to pick it up in Battlefield 3, but then I soon found out a lot of its other attributes. And speaking of attributes, you know, damage happens to be the best aspect of this weapon. It's 34 max damage up close. It has a 22 minimum damage. You know, 22 minimum damage, that's just 3 damage points lower than the max damage of all the other assault rifles. And the only thing I really don't care for is, of course, the rate of fire, which is the slowest of all the assault rifles. And most everybody knows that rate of fire is the first thing I look at when it comes to a certain weapon, usually followed by reload speed. But even with a lower rate of fire, you can still certainly be effective with this weapon. I like to hang back a little bit, just behind the front lines, kind of pick off enemies from a distance, not getting too up close and personal. In this gameplay, you'll actually see me rush into certain areas, and if I had the M16 or a higher rate of fire weapon, I probably could have won those gunfights, but I end up dying. So it's really more effective to kind of hang back and pick off enemies from afar. The only regret I really have with this weapon is the fact I didn't start using it sooner. You know, if Medal of Honor 2010 hadn't made me reluctant to try it, and of course, if it wasn't tied to completing the co-op missions in Battlefield 3, I would have certainly used it a lot sooner. Everybody knows I'm not a big fan of the co-op, and I really don't like the direction DICE went with tying certain weapons to the completion of co-op missions to be used in the multiplayer. I just really wasn't a big fan of that. But overall, I really do enjoy this weapon. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoy watching the rest of the round. And as always, guys, I really appreciate your support, and take care. Thanks.
Here's your med kit.